the ending. Like, the ending is just like, what the hell? Like, what the, like, what? I need to take a shower. Hey book lovers, welcome or welcome back to Chocolate Covered Pages. I'm Kiona, and today I'll be telling you some of the books that I've read recently that I really loved. Let's get started. Neighborly by Katrina Jackson. In Neighborly, we meet Tasha and Steven, who are a married couple, and they have a great life. They go to work, they come home, everything's all good. Then we also meet another couple. They're just dating, and they move in next door to Tasha and Steven. So when Tasha sees the girlfriend of the other couple, she gets real hot and bothered. And apparently the girlfriend also feels a little hot and bothered as well, but she's a little bit more timid. Meanwhile, Tasha's like, yes girl, let's get it poppin'. So the two couples, we see them kind of play this kind of like cat and mouse game a little bit. Like, you know that the two girls are interested in each other, and oh sorry, this is a poly romance in case I haven't mentioned that. So you know that the two women are interested in each other, but nobody's really kind of making a move. I mean, this book is so freaking good. The sexual tension between these two women are just, yes, so good. There's a dinner scene in this book that had me like, I need to take a shower, because it was intense. Like, it was so good. I love the men in this book as well. Like, yo, these men are so dope. The way they just like, okay, this is what you want to do? Oh, you like that? Okay. Like, I'm here for that. We love it. The next book I want to talk about is Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. A white baby dies while under the care of a church-going black woman and her 9-year-old daughter, Mary. The public has convicted Mary of the crime, but Mary never actually says that she did it or that she didn't do it. So the question is, did she do it or not? So I actually really enjoyed this book. This book is considered a YA thriller, but there was not really very much anything YA about it, other than the main character was a child. By the time I finished this book, I really just needed some time to myself, because Tiffany, if you've never read a Tiffany D. Jackson book, please pick one up. Please, whenever you want your soul completely like ripped out, just pick up a Tiffany D. Jackson book, because that's what sis does. She rips your soul out. She is from Brooklyn, and this is what she does. So basically, we're in this child's head or whatever, but we never really know if she killed the baby or if she didn't. She's in this group home, she gets pregnant. That's not a spoiler. That's in the back of the book, just so you know. So I was really on the edge of my seat while I was reading this book, and Tiffany D. Jackson like really knows how to hold attention when it comes to this book. And it's hard for me to say that I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it. It made me pick up another Tiffany D. Jackson book, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So that's that one. The next book I want to talk about is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. A famous painter lives with her husband in their beautiful home, and one night the husband comes home late and his wife shoots him in the face 5 times and then never speaks another word. I know what you're thinking. That book is old as shit. But that's okay, because I don't like reading books, especially thrillers, when everybody else is reading them. I like to just let the dust settle a little bit and then I'll pick it up because, you know, people like to spoil, and I freaking hate that. So I read it this year, and I loved it. Like, the hype is real, y'all. Okay, this book was a wild ride. Like, I was actually pretty surprised because I wasn't expecting it to be so like fast paced, and the ending, like the ending is just like, what the hell? Like, what? I was listening to this book on audio. First of all, the audio is very good. You should definitely check it out if you have not already read this book and you want to check it out on audio. It's very fast. I had to rewind it. Like, wait, did that just really happen? Yes, it did. And I love a thriller like that. I love a thriller that I didn't see the ending coming. So definitely pick that one up if you haven't already. Next book I want to talk about is Docile by K.M. Sapara. This is a dystopian novel where in this world debt gets passed on through generations. Sounds crazy, right? So when that happens, there's two choices. You either go to debt jail, or you can work it off by becoming a docile. A docile is pretty much a slave, where rich people can have their way with you in any way they want. And then Dosaline is the actual drug that people who decide to be dociles, this is the drug that they opt in to receive, because it makes it easier for them to be a docile, because then, you know, you don't have any memory of being a docile for however long you were a docile, because, you know, crazy shit is happening to them. They doing all types of things, and, you know, who want to remember that? So I love this book so much. I've been screaming about this book all year. If you follow me on Bookstagram, you already know that I love this book. It's very queer, and it's not about being queer. It just happens to be queer with queer characters, and I freaking love that. There's kink. Yes, we love the kink. We stand the kink. Keep it coming. It is extremely engaging, fast paced. The character development is on point. Okay, and it is a very unique story. I've never read a story like this before, and I think that everybody should definitely pick it up. I also love how the author describes every person in the book, not just the black folks. Okay, this author describes the white people and the black people, and I love that. Let's describe everybody. White doesn't need to be the default like it is in a lot of other novels. So I completely love that he did that, and I would love for other authors to do that as well. So definitely check that one out. Next book I want to talk about is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. And again, if you've been following me on Bookstagram, you know I love this book. First of all, Bookstagram love this book. Everyone loves this freaking book. And if you never heard of it, I don't know where you've been. But anyway, let's talk about it. So The Vanishing Half is about twin girls, and they grow up in this town called Mallard. And Mallard is basically a town where everyone is light skinned. Okay? I wouldn't have been allowed there. Everyone in this town is light skinned. Light skin breeding with another light skin. They are breeding with the lightest black folks that they can find to keep this town completely light skinned, right? So these girls grow up there. They decide that, you know, they don't want to be in this town anymore, and they just leave. No words, no letters, no nothing. They just dip. And then one of them, this is years later, one of them begins living her life as a white woman on another side of town. She's suddenly passing as a white woman, and the other sister comes back to Mallard with a dark-skinned child. She has a dark-skinned child, and that's how basically the book opens up. Now you have all these questions. How did this happen? Where does dark-skinned little girl come from? Um, why is the other sister passing for white? What is her life like? And I love this book so much. This is one of my favorite books this year so far. Um, I love how Brit puts us in everyone's head. I have not read a book that has so many POVs and they all work like this besides Homegoing by Yaja Asi. And I love that book as well. Um, but this one works so well. The character development is so good that any of these characters, even the side ones, they could have been their own book. That's how good they were. I hope she makes a book for like some of these other side characters because some of them I was really interested. But she gives them all like a backstory and they're all so good. I love it. I pretty much identified so much with the dark skinned daughter, Jude. You know, being the only dark skinned person in a light skinned town was very rough for her. Like, very, very rough for her. I'm no stranger to that. I'm dark. I've, dealt with it, for a lot of my life. Colorism in the black community is a very real thing. And I love that Brit has that as one of the themes in this book. This book has so many themes. I mean, identity, why it's called Vanishing Half, pretty much. We even get in the head of the sister who's on the other side of the town passing for white. I mean, at first you kind of just like, well, what's wrong with her? I got questions. But when you get in her head, you kind of start to soften up around the edges just a little bit because you understand, she felt like it was best for her. Now, was it right? Absolutely not. But, this is how racism works, unfortunately. So I really love this book so much, and I love that Britt Bennett is getting all the praise for it because this book definitely deserves it. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. The next book I want to talk about is Grown by Tiffany Jackson. Yes, I have another Tiffany D. Jackson book. I know, I can't stay away from her. I literally was reading Allegedly, right? This is what happened. I was reading Allegedly. My soul was ripped out. And then I was like, you know what? I like my soul ripped out. I want to read some more Tiffany D. Jackson. So I had this on my, actually at the time I didn't have the physical copy. I had it on my Kindle. So I powered that up and I was like, I need more. I need more. And I just started reading this. I read this book so fast. Let me tell you what it's about. So basically, there's a dead R&B artist named Corey. That's how it opens up. The R&B artist is dead. And then Enchanted Jones, which is a young lady, she wakes up covered in blood. So what we find out about Enchanted Jones is she's a struggling singer and she's discovered by Corey Jones. Corey Jones is a grown-ass man. Let's just put that out there, okay? Enchanted Jones is a teenager in high school, right? So he discovers her, at a some kind of audition. He discovers her there, hits her with the charm. I want you guys to think R. Kelly story. Tiffany D. Jackson says that this is not the R. Kelly story, but, it's very similar. So if you're wondering what this book is about, just think that, except this R&B artist is dead. And we're wondering the entire time, being that Enchanted Jones is the one covered in blood at his house when the police bust in. Did she do it or not? So again, this is another YA thriller that rips your heart out. This book made me so sad. so sad, so emotional. Like, it was a lot. And I don't have any kids, but I can imagine that if I had daughters, I would probably be, you know, balled up in a corner somewhere, or locking them in a room and not letting them out, because this book literally makes you want to grab every little black girl that you know and just hold them close. Like, she was just, Enchanted Jones just went through so much in this book, trying to get people to see what was going on. This man was manipulating the hell out of her, okay? And you see it from the beginning, you know? She grew up in a two-parent home, and this book really shows that it doesn't matter. You can grow up in a two-parent home, a single household, whatever. Little girls can be manipulated by grown-ass men if they are not. Our girls need to be protected at all times. That is what I got from this book. Anyway, it is a very important book. It comes out in September. It comes out in September, and I really want you guys to definitely check it out. This book is going to be the book that everybody's talking about for the rest of the year. I don't care what else come out. People are going to be talking about this book for the rest of the year. So that's all I have today, and I hope that you will like and subscribe if you really enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.